Okay, welcome back to Uprising, and yes, we know by now there's only 6 segments. Ironically, this is the show that gets the highest ratings each week, so we have to make the most of our time slots, and there's actually no titles on the line tonight, which may be a little bit risky, but I think the matches I'm going to put on are good ones, and we have got I've got a preliminary. I've got a draft of how I want the Super Brawl card to look. So this is going to lead towards that. So there's 2 new feuds going to start. One of them is Sting and Chris Kanyon, and that's a feud basically to try and elevate both guys higher up the card. We need them both at the upper end of the card. Another one is for Wall and Mark Jindrak. For Wall, seems to work well. He's been in a few feuds now, and he's done well in every match he's been in. And Mark Jindrak, he's had some okay performances, but he had a disappointing one against Chuck Palumbo. But I think he could do with a push, Mark Jindrak, and I think for Wall can help him get there. So we're going to start with Vampiro beating Kanyon and New Jack beating the Wall. Both are going to have interferences. Sting in this match and Mark Jindrak in this match. So that's going to start those feuds respectively. Jeff Jarrett's going to lay into Chris Candido. Chris Candido's by far got the upper hand in this feud, and Jeff has took to the mic to get his own back a little bit. 3 count are back together for the first time in many, many months, and they are now heels, and they are going to fight for Young Dragons in a winning effort. And I'd like 3 count to be involved in the Cruiserweight tag match at Super Brawl. Scott Steiner interview, of course he's feuding with Lashley Rowe. Quite an even feud at the minute, but Steiner has the upper hand. And in the main event, it's a potential future world title match. I want to see how these 2 guys got on together. And Shane Douglas hasn't had a match in a while, so he's going to be in the main event against Curt Hennig. And of course, no title on the line because Lance Storm's the US champ, who's feuding with Douglas, and Hulk Hogan's a world champ, who's feuding with Hennig. So we'll see how it goes. Lance Storm is going to get involved in this match, but Hulk Hogan's not. So let's just see. And a good opener, Chris Kanyon Vampiro, and that could have been a potential feud as well. But I think it's more important to get Sting back up that card. For Wall and New Jack, good solid match between those 2. And what I was thinking for the TV title was having a 4-way match. So for Wall and Mark Jindrak are the main 2 guys, and 2 guys who also fought for the TV title at Genesis, New Jack and Bam Bam Bigelow. Maybe we can get a 4-way between those 4. Jarrett lost overness from this. He's been losing a little bit of overness recently. Not too much cause for concern yet, but I'm not quite liking it. Young Dragons 3 count, match quality, Cruiserweights to the rescue again, overall rating 91%, and 3 count will be a very good addition to the Cruiserweight Tag Championship because Shane Helms has been out for many months. He was getting a singles push, but I think this is the perfect route for him now he's come back from injury, and it gives Shannon Moore some purpose as well. Scott Steiner backstage, 87%. That went well with Lashley Rowe. And a good main event, not spectacular, but good, solid main event. So they work pretty well together. And 75% overall rating, so I think we can safely say that was a successful show. And the 2.22 rating would indicate that. Yeah, Hennig and Douglas work pretty well together, and I think that can be a future feud after Hennig's done with Hogan. Yang and Kaz work well together, we know that. They've been together for a long time. Vampiro's a lower mid-carder, so he can be promoted now. I'm happy to promote him to mid-card. Has he gone up from 68? He's still 68, but let's run up to mid-carder. Okay. We're going to have a look at Lance Storm, Shane Douglas. 14 all. Absolutely crazy. I've never had a feud go on for this long in terms of battles won. How about Scott Steiner, Lashley Rowe? 3-2 to Steiner. Candido Jarrett. 6-3 to Candido. Hennig Hogan. 3-2 to Hogan. And obviously these feuds have just started. There's not really anything to put in this empty feud slot at the moment. You know, there's not much point, I don't think, in sticking some cruiserweights there because they're already so over. They don't need for feuds to help them. It's more something to help guys who need a bit of a push. And I'm just so peed off that Sid Vicious can't get on with another feud. But that's the way it is. Meeting Lance Storm 2%. Shane Douglas is not happy. These two guys, that's not good. Personal assistant. Let's go all the way to Saturday. And just over a week till our pay-per-view. 5.63 rating for SmackDown. Vampiro's glad he's getting pushed off up for card rather. So let's get Showdown sorted, and then we've only got Uprising and Showdown again next week before Super Brawl Revenge 2002.